What's going on, baseball fans? We're going to talk Nolan Arenado, maybe going to the Mets. I'm starting to think it might be more of a possibility. I'm starting to think maybe Trevor Bauer is not going to go to the Mets. I'm going to talk about Yu Darvish being on the trade block. I'm going to go over some trade options for him. Let's get into it. Oh, I really hope this works.
Wake up the Don Bambino and have me face him. Maybe I'll drill him in the ass.
And what is going on, baseball fans? Is this working? Oh, it's working so far. I think we're okay. I think we might be in the clear. If you are watching this tomorrow or 2 days from now, this is the fourth attempt at this stream tonight. The audio has not been working at all. I think we're good to go. Fourth time is a charm. I saw someone say that in the chat, and that is right. What is going on, baseball fans? I have said that 4 times already, but you know what? Hey, what is going on, baseball fans? How are we doing? So, I think we're doing all right. Marco, that tiny echo that you're hearing, again, that's probably my iPad because I have it playing like right behind my microphone. I always put the stream on so I can watch it, make sure it's going good. That's how I know the microphone has been like glitching out in the last few attempts because I can hear it on my iPad. I know a lot of people wear the headphones, so I don't know. I'm not really into the headphone look, but anyway, let's not waste any time here. We have already. I started the first stream at 8:30. We talked for about 30 minutes, and then the microphone stopped working, and then we tried again, and then we tried again. And now this is the 4th attempt. So I think we're okay. So we're going to have to backtrack a little bit here to kind of, just in case anyone is going to come in and watch this, the next day or, tomorrow tomorrow at some point or 2 days from now, just so I can get everyone caught up on this stream. Because I like to keep the streams active and public. That way people, if they want to watch an old stream, they can. So let's quickly recap what I talked about. I got to somehow figure out how to catch up 30 minutes in about 5 minutes. So I'm going to try and make this quick. So what we talked about to start off the last stream, we started off talking about Nolan Arenado. So in last night's stream, I pretty much dismissed this. I thought, you know what? There is no way this is going to happen. Absolutely no way. I just thought like that contract is going to be too hard to move. It's too much money. Arenado didn't have a great 2020 season. I mean, again, it was 60 games, but still, not the kind of production you're looking for from him. He had under an 800 OPS, but I believe around like 730. So either way, though, it was a small sample size. He was dealing with some injuries. He wasn't feeling his best. So that's why I was thinking that combined with the contract, but not even just the amount of money. He has an opt-out after 2021. So I kind of thought with those factors, like, no, how are you going to move this guy? But I slept on it. I cuddled with my pillow all night. And I thought to myself, you know what? I think this actually could happen. So let's kind of go over some things here. So here we go. I'm going to share my screen. Again, I got to recap this as quick as I can. So So let's go back to that. Okay. I'm so afraid of this microphone just not going to work. Okay, I still think this is working. Lord Avocado, what is going on? All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to go back and play that clip real quick. So again, the last thing we were talking about, we were going over Nolan Arenado's contract. So as we can see here, making a lot of money over the next few years, but actually over the next 6 years, definitely more than a few years. But I was saying before the microphone stopped working and everything, that the Rockies maybe could take back another bad contract maybe a Robinson Cano that could be possible. But let's go back to that. Let's go back to that clip that I was playing. So here we go. I want to go back to this. I want you guys to hear one more time what Sandy Alderson was saying in the James McCann press conference today. They did a Q&A at the end of it. So let's take a listen.
Just as a maybe thinly veiled follow-up to that, how satisfied are you with your third base situation as it stands today?
Well, our third base, if you're talking about defensively, our third base situation is probably a little bit up in the air. We have J.D. Davis over there. We've got Jimenez who can play there. So we have some options. Is it as glaring a need as like a third or fourth starter? I don't think so. But look, we're going to look for targets of opportunity. And if there are ways to make our team better in areas where we're not the weakest, but could use an upgrade, then those are things that, Jared and the organization will have to consider.
So there was one thing, actually, was that the right clip? That actually wasn't the full clip that I wanted to play. Hold on. Where was the timestamp for that? Sorry, I just realized I didn't play the right clip that I wanted to play. I will play that. I will go back to that clip. Let's actually go back to what he said. Hold on. So it was at 32:45. Here we go. Let's listen to this.
This question's for Sandy and Jared. Sandy, you had mentioned earlier this offseason that just given the nature of the organization's farm system, your budget, you were more likely to fill needs this winter through free agency as you've done so far. Now that you've kind of gotten into the market a little bit and seen what it looks like, is that still the case, or could you see yourselves making potentially a blockbuster trade at some point this winter?
Well, I think the focus is still on free agency. There's still a lot of good players out there that don't require prospects in return. On the other hand, there are some interesting players on the trade market too. And so I think what we have to do at this point is make sure that we're actively engaged in both areas and evaluating, the opportunities that exist in both. We don't want to give up prospects, and we're going to be very careful about doing that. On the other hand, there may be something out there that causes us to say, okay, with respect to this particular deal, this makes sense to us. And while we don't want to give up prospects, maybe there's a way we can do this. So I think we're going to be actively engaged in both areas while still focusing on the fact that, free agency, yes, requires dollar commitment, but it doesn't require giving up prospects.
Okay, so, all right, microphone still working? All right, we're good. All right, so again, I didn't play the right clip in the beginning, but that actually works out that I can play that clip too. So he did say in the first clip that I played, they would be open to an upgrade at third base. It's not really like a top priority, but they're open, or their third base situation is a little bit up in the air defensively. I mean, J.D. Davis, at the end of the day, the guy is a good offensive player, but he's just not that good with the glove. So this is why, to me, I think a Nolan Arenado is a possibility. And he also said in the next clip that I played that basically, if the right trade was there, they don't want to give up prospects. But if the right trade is there, they would be open to it. So this is where we were talking about earlier, before everything started breaking. We were talking about the fact that, Nolan Arenado, you got a lot of money that the Rockies are trying to give up here. A ton of money. A lot of money. 6 years, $35 million for the next 4 years. That's a big chunk of change. However, with the Mets, they do have someone that they can send back. They have someone that they can send back. Now, they have Robinson Cano. The Rockies, of course, if you're the Rockies, you want prospects. But are you more motivated to get prospects, or are you more motivated to get out of Nolan Arenado's deal? I think they're more motivated to get out of that deal. So I think in return, you may have to take on someone like a Robinson Cano. You take on that $48 million that's left. He's not going to get paid this upcoming season, so that's a plus too. That's really going to help them. So if they were to take that contract back, you don't got to pay him anything. You would just have to pay him for 2022 and 2023. I think if you're the Rockies, you look at that and you say, oh, you know what? I think we would be okay paying $48 million for the next 2 years instead of paying, however much is left on Arenado's deal, which is what, like almost $200 million. So I think they would be completely okay taking back Cano's contract. I was saying last night on last night's stream, I was saying there's no way this is going to happen. There's no way they're going to do it. And then I slept on it and I said, you know what? I think maybe they could actually do that. We went to baseball trade values and we came up with this trade before everything started breaking. We came up with this trade here. Nolan Arenado, maybe some cash. The Rockies can send some cash. Since they're not going to be paying Robinson Cano, if they were to take Cano back, since they're not going to have to pay him, hey, they'd say, all right, you know what? We'll send some cash over your way with Arenado. We'll pay off some of his contract for you. Since we're not going to have to pay Cano this year, whatever, we'll use that money and we'll give it to you. So, and then if the Rockies do that, that's going to really help them be able to get like a younger player in return. Maybe a Dominic Smith, maybe a JD Davis. JD Davis could be a possibility to go back to them. If you get Nolan Arenado, where the heck is JD Davis going to play? I think JD Davis is a pretty decent player that you could send back. If you look at JD Davis on here. So taking a look here, you're getting a guy that can, put together some offense. In 2019, he had an 895 OPS. He had 22 home runs, 57 RBIs. He hit 307. The defense was absolutely atrocious, but this is not a bad player to get back in return. Or you could maybe go after a Dominic Smith. He's pretty young. He just had himself a pretty good year. He's a cost-controlled guy. When I look at a Nolan Arenado trade, because the one thing with Nolan Arenado too is he has the opt-out, but because of the free agent market right now, because of just how everything is going with the pandemic, teams aren't really wanting to maybe spend maybe as much money as they would before. They're being a little more careful financially now. I think with a Nolan Arenado, you got to think for a second and say, well, you know what? I'm making $35 million each year for the next 4 years. That's pretty good. Are you going to want to opt out of that contract, especially during a time where maybe teams aren't really wanting to break the bank? So I think if you're Nolan Arenado, you look at someone like a Mookie Betts too, where he went over when the Dodgers traded for him. They weren't sure if he was going to re-sign with them, if he was willing to sign an extension, or if he wanted to test free agency. That was a big question mark revolving around the Mookie Betts trade last year. But the Dodgers, they still took a chance. They parted ways with their young outfielder, Alex Verdugo, a cost-controlled player who was young, who has a lot of talent. He did have some off-the-field issues. I'm sure the Dodgers weren't really wanting to put up with that. But the Red Sox, they were saying, hey, bring him on in. We got a replacement for Mookie Betts. So someone like a Dominic Smith could be kind of like that Alex Verdugo kind of a player in a Nolan Arenado trade, a cost-controlled guy. He can play some first. He can play in the outfield. This is a guy last year in 50 games. He played, almost that full season last year. He had a good season. 316 average, a 993 OPS, 10 homers, 42 RBIs. I could see the Rockies saying, hey, you know what? The Rockies need a first baseman. They need a first baseman. If they can get a Dominic Smith, I don't know. That might be pretty good. But what do you do with JD Davis? I don't know. I would think the Mets are I would think they're more willing to part with a JD Davis with, hold on. If we go take a look at JD Davis on Fangraphs defensively, because I don't know if the Mets would want to put him out there. Who do they? Hold on, let me go to the Mets depth chart real quick. It's so hard to try and remember all these players. I can keep such a good memory with the Red Sox, but when it comes to like other teams, I have to go look. So left field, you do have Jeff McNeil out there. So I don't know. I don't know if you can hang on to a JD Davis here. That's tough. I don't know if JD Davis can play second. Dominic Smith, it's going to be a bit of a hard time. I mean, they had the DH in the National League, but now they're not going to have the DH. So, I don't know. This is tough. I mean, you could put McNeil back at second. I mean, Cano's not going to be there, so you could put McNeil back at second. You could put either J.D. Davis or Dominic Smith out in left. So the question is, who do you want to hang on to? I think it's going to be one of those two. I think it's going to be J.D. Davis or Dominic Smith. I think the Rockies would probably want Dominic Smith because he's he's not a lot younger. He's 2 years younger, but I don't know. If you look at J.D. Davis, I think the one area the Mets need to work on is their defense. So J.D. Davis, let's say you stuck him out in left. I don't think he can play second. So if you stuck him out in left, I mean, he's not going to be great out there. It's just not that good. When you look at how he's played, good grief. A negative 11 defensive runs saved. I don't know. I think the Mets are going to want to give up J.D. Davis, but you have to think too. The Mets have the leverage here. They don't need to get a Nolan Arenado. They're actually okay without Nolan Arenado. They don't need him. So I think with the Mets, they got the leverage here. Maybe they go with maybe instead of, I think they're going to want to hang on to a Dominic Smith because he can play first. He can play left. Let me see where else. Does he play any other positions? I know he plays first and he can play left. So, hold on. Let's go to the fielding. He can play, he could play right. But yeah, he plays first and left. So I think with a Dominic Smith, you're going to get, it looks like you're going to, he did okay. Honestly, like a Dominic Smith and J.D. Davis are very similar. Honestly, I think it's whatever. It's going to be one of those two. It's got to be one of those two. Unless, I don't know, but even then, if you put, I don't think the Mets are going to want to, Sandy Alderson just said himself, they don't want to give up prospects. They will definitely give up one of these guys. Absolutely. I think they would be more inclined to give up J.D. Davis. I think the Rockies would want a Dominic Smith. I don't know, just because he is younger, he's got more years of control. That's going to be interesting. But I think this starts the conversation right here. Nolan Arenado and some cash. Get Cano, Smith, or J.D. Davis. Maybe both. I don't know. Do you want maybe both? Why don't you just do both? J.D. Davis and Dominic Smith. You got a first baseman and you got a left fielder right there. I don't know. Do you do that? That might be a little much. But I don't know. It could be something. But either way, I think you can get the conversation started. So those are my thoughts on Nolan Arenado. That is definitely looking more realistic. The more I think about it, the more I think it could actually happen. Again, it is, I think, more speculation at this point. I think supposedly the Rockies, they made the call. They called the Mets and they said, hey, we want to do a Nolan Arenado trade. What is it going to take for you to take on Nolan Arenado? You got some money now. You got one of the richest men in the world owning the Mets. What would it take for you to take on Nolan Arenado? So I think this is something that you really could see happen. Don't be surprised if it happens. So tell me in the chat what you think. Wow, 74 people in the chat. I just want to say first off, thank you so much for putting up with all of the technical difficulties we were having earlier. That was so, oh my goodness. That was good. That was going to drive me crazy. I want to say thank you for coming back. We were up to around 95 people when that first stream started to not work. So I just want to say thank you so much for coming back. Really appreciate that. It's good to see a decent crowd here tonight. So let me know in the chat. Thumbs up if you think Nolan Arenado could really go to the Mets, or thumbs down. Do you think it's just going to be speculation at this point, or is that's all it's going to get to? Speculation. I don't know. I'm going to start. I'm maybe not like a sideways, but I'm maybe here. I'm not fully thumbs up. I'm maybe kind of diagonal thumbs at this point. So, but yeah, I'm seeing some thumbs ups. I'm seeing some thumbs downs. So, but you have to remember with the Rockies, their motivation here is to get out of that contract. They are looking to dump that contract and try and get something in return. Is it going to happen? I don't know. Could it happen? I think it definitely has a chance. So let's move on to our next story. So in that clip that I played earlier of Sandy Alderson, there was something, and I don't know if any of you caught what he said. There was something that he said that really caught my attention in it. And that was, again, this is more speculation on my part. This is not any rumor that I've seen or anything. This is pure speculation. But I heard something that he said, and I started dissecting it a little bit, and that was something that made something in my head clicked about Trevor Bauer. Could the Mets not be too interested in Trevor Bauer? Now, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I think they're interested in a Trevor Bauer. Who's not going to be interested in Trevor Bauer? Of course they're going to be interested in him. But are they really, really, really interested? I don't know. I think when it comes down to it, we're gonna go to that audio clip here in 1 second. But I'm starting to think, I think the Mets have a limit on what they want to offer him, and I don't think they're gonna go past that limit. I think they would be fine if he went to another team. If they could get him, I think they would be totally happy about that too, because it's only gonna make your team better. Sandy Alderson was saying today that he thinks Trevor Bauer's personality would fit in New York, because he kind of has he just has like a different personality. He really connects with people on social media, and that's something that he really likes about Trevor Bauer. So, however, there was one thing. Let me go to that clip. Here we go. So I did accidentally play it earlier. I meant to play the other clip, but here we go. Let's take a listen to this. See if you can catch something that he says.
Just as a maybe thinly veiled follow-up to that, how satisfied are you with your third base situation as it stands today?
Well, our third base, if you're talking about defensively, our third base situation is probably a little bit up in the air. We have J.D. Davis over there. We've got Jimenez who can play there. So we have some options. Is it as glaring a need as like a third or fourth starter? I don't think so.
Did you hear that? Is it as glaring as a need as a third or fourth starter? Now, you can interpret that however you want. I think there's going to be two different groups that interpret that differently. So I think some people are going to think, okay, third or fourth starter, so what? You can still go get Trevor Bauer. But then there's going to be that other group, and I think I might be in that group that says, or that thinks of what he just said, a third or fourth starter. Well, last time I checked, a third or fourth starter, you're not really going to be paying a whole ton of money to. So, I don't know. I'm thinking if they can get Trevor Bauer for a certain amount of money, that what they have him valued at, I think they would take him. They would be happy to take him. They would be happy to sign him at what they want. Are they going to overpay for a Trevor Bauer? I don't think so. I don't think they're going to do it. You have to imagine, and here's one thing and I know a lot of people already probably think this way. Oh, excuse me. So, with Steve Cohen, here is one thing that I kept seeing a lot. Steve Cohen, yes, he's one of the richest men in the world. But do you think he got rich by just spending money constantly? Making huge purchases? No, Steve Cohen, that's not how you become one of the richest people in the world. You make smart purchases. You spend your money in a thoughtful way. You have to be strategic about how you spend your money. So, and that was the one thing I kept seeing. Oh man, the Mets got Steve Cohen. Oh, here we go. They're going to start buying all these free agents. They're going to start paying for everyone. They're going to go get George Springer. They're going to go get Trevor Bauer. They're going to get JT Realmuto. No, that's not smart business. That is not how you build a winner. And Steve Cohen, That is not how he has built himself over how many years now to become one of the richest people in the world. He didn't get rich by just spending his money on everything. He has made good investments over time. Yeah, sure, he's probably had to spend a pretty penny here and there, but over time, he has built his riches. He is not going to spend, he's not going to overspend for a Trevor Bauer. I think he has him at a certain value. And, now that he did just buy the Mets, but he knows his baseball a little bit. He's not going to be like one of these, analytical guys like a Sandy Alderson. But I think Sandy Alderson's a smart guy too. I think he has Trevor Bauer set, because you also have to remember one thing about Trevor Bauer. I like Trevor Bauer. I do. I think he's very entertaining. I think it has taken him a few years to really start to get people to warm up to him. But Trevor Bauer is still a very polarizing figure. You have to remember, Trevor Bauer, and I'm sorry, I'm not hating on Trevor Bauer here. I'm really not. What a season this guy had. At the end of the day, though, it was a 60-game season. It was 12 starts? In all honesty, you guys can disagree with me if you want. You are more than welcome to. I personally don't think he was the Cy Young. I don't think I don't know. You are more than welcome to disagree with me on that. I think he had a much easier the opponents that he had to face this year. I think they were not as difficult as the opponents that, let's say, a Jacob deGrom had to face. I personally would have picked Jacob deGrom. I know a lot of you will disagree, and that's okay. But Trevor Bauer, he went up against some pretty easy teams. He went up against the Pirates. He went up against the Brewers a couple times. Those teams had terrible offenses. No disrespect to Trevor Bauer. No disrespect. I have no problem with him winning the Cy Young. An amazing season. But what I wonder about with Trevor Bauer is, yes, fantastic season. Great numbers all across the board. When you start going up against, let's say you go to the Mets. You start going up against, he did have a great start against the Braves. But is that going to happen every single time out? I don't think so. Against that high-powered offense, I mean, sure, yeah. He had that one great start against him in the playoffs. But is he going to be able to produce those same kind of results? He did have one season where he had some really good numbers, but everything else, he's usually been around like a 3 to like a 4.5 ERA kind of a guy. So I think what I'm trying to say here is that the Mets, they have a value on Bauer. And I'm not saying he's a bad pitcher. I just don't think they are going to overspend for him. They're not going to overspend for him. Steve Cohen, he is not going to want to overspend for someone. They need to start making smart purchases. They made a dumb trade with Robinson Cano. They don't want to make any more dumb moves. They want to start making more cost-efficient moves. They want to start building the farm system. Sure, could you maybe go get a George Springer? Sure, absolutely. Go for it. But when you just hear what Sandy Alderson said, that is third base more of a need than a third or a fourth starter? Maybe not. He just said that. A third or fourth starter, you're not going to be paying $200 million. You're going to be paying maybe a third or fourth starter, maybe 10 to 15 million. I don't think they're going to go hard after a Trevor Bauer. I think Trevor Bauer is going to go somewhere. I thought my microphone just started not working. I think Trevor Bauer is going to go to a team that is more motivated to get him. Simply put, I think there are teams out there that need him more than the Mets. I'm sorry, you can have your opinions on the Mets starting rotation, but you still got, in my opinion, the best pitcher in baseball in Jacob deGrom. Do I personally think Marcus Stroman is a number 2? I think he's like a 2.5. I don't think he's really like a 2. But I think he's better than a 3. If you could have Marcus Stroman as your number 3 and you got a legit number 2, I think that would be amazing. But I think Marcus Stroman is like a 2.5. So Marcus Stroman, you just brought him back for another year. This is a prove it kind of a year for Marcus Stroman. He opted out of this year. He was dealing with injuries. And then you're going to get Noah Syndergaard, who also, Sandy Alderson recently said, Noah Syndergaard is ahead of schedule with Tommy John. Noah Syndergaard is looking like a freaking superhero right now. I mean, good grief. Has anyone seen Noah Syndergaard lately? He is like oiled up. He is just out there throwing the ball. The guy looks like $1 million. Are you kidding me? The guy looks like, I don't even know. I don't, what's the word? If you really want to say he looks like Thor, like this is, holy crap. He looks like he's in great shape. So, yeah, I'm just saying. Noah Syndergaard's going to come back. Who knows who knows how he's going to be? I'd imagine he's in great shape. I mean, you could expect a pretty good stuff from Noah Syndergaard, I would imagine. So I really think with the Mets, they are not as motivated to go after a Trevor Bauer. That's just my opinion. Now, a team like the Angels, they are really motivated to go after a Trevor Bauer. Now, a team like the Angels, you can say, if you're the Angels, yeah, we can overspend for this guy a bit because we really need an ace. You got Dylan Bundy, you got Andrew Heaney, but you need a guy. You need a guy if you're the LA Angels. I know I predicted Trevor Bauer to go to the Mets, but now that I start to think about it, and now that I've heard him say it, in the beginning of the offseason, I thought, all right, the Mets, they're just going to go for this like 1-2 punch in Jacob deGrom and a Trevor Bauer. And then you got Marcus, and then, well, because I didn't think Marcus Stroman was going to go back. That was another reason why I didn't think Trevor Bauer, or why I thought Trevor Bauer would go to the Mets, because I didn't think the Mets were going to bring back Marcus Stroman. And then they brought him back, which I thought was a little surprising. But it wasn't surprising considering, well, because you also didn't know that the Mets were going to be, having a new owner too. There was a lot of things that happened, but they brought in Steve Cohen. I think Marcus Stroman, he saw what Steve Cohen had to say. Marcus Stroman, I think it was like 2 days or 3 days after Steve Cohen was introduced as the general manager, as the owner. That's when Marcus Stroman accepted the qualifying offer. So I think Marcus Stroman, I think he was out of there in New York. I think he was gone. I think he was really, really motivated to go somewhere else because of that ownership group. The Wilpons, that whole franchise was a mess. They were just a laughingstock. They were just embarrassing, disappointing. But then you get a guy like Steve Cohen comes in, Marcus Stroman, he saw what he had to say, and he said, you know what? I like this guy. I like what this guy's going to do. I like the stuff that he has to say. I think he's going to make some good moves. You know what? I'll accept that qualifying offer. And Marcus Stroman went back to the Mets. So, but yeah, that's where I'm at with Trevor Bauer. I am starting to lean to the fact that Trevor Bauer is not going to go back to the Mets. We just heard Sandy Alderson say, because he was talking about third base, where, he just said right there, is third base more important than going after a third or fourth starter? Probably not. Third or fourth starter, that's not Trevor Bauer. So I think you could see them go after, let's actually take a look at some options out there. MLB free agents. So taking a look. So let's take a look at who's some guys that the Mets could go after. Like a third or fourth starter. Not a Trevor Bauer. So they just had Rick Porcello leave. You could see maybe they take a shot on like a Cole Hamels. You could see that, like a 1-year deal if he's healthy. Maybe bring in like a Martin Perez. He had a good start against the Mets. Early on in the season with the Red Sox. I think maybe they bring him in they could bring Martin Perez in pretty cheap. Maybe they bring in J.A. Happ. He can go right across town. Maybe they take a chance on like a Jake Arrieta. There's a lot of options here. Tyler Chatwood. No, probably not Tyler Chatwood. But could you take a chance on, I don't know, Homer Bailey? Something like that. Maybe a John Lester. I don't know. But I think you're going to see one of those guys go to the Mets. Joe, every single one of these options are old and ugly. Hey. Don't you say that about John Lester. John Lester is a hero in Boston. John Lester could be the ugliest man on the planet, but John Lester, to me, will always be in my heart. So John Lester is a beautiful man. Don't you dare say that about John Lester. But yeah, I mean, of course, are these options great? I mean, I'd be really intrigued about a Cole Hamels in the Mets. He was with the Phillies for how long? I'd be kind of intrigued by that. If he's healthy, I think that could actually maybe be pretty good. You'd get him for probably really cheap. Martin Perez, I mean, I'm not a big fan of Martin Perez, but I mean, he had an okay year, not great for the Red Sox. I don't know. I don't like Martin Perez. But he would be cheap. He's probably going to be like $3 million. He can pitch out of the, I don't know, he can be the number 4 guy. No, probably not. I don't know. But Trevor Bauer, probably not. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think Trevor Bauer is going to go. After what I had just heard right there, I don't know. I don't think it's going to happen. Especially if they go after a Nolan Arenado, where, they are more, man, the Mets, they got, man, there are so many different things they can do. If you're a Mets fan, I think you got to be excited if you're a Mets fan. There's so many different things they can do, but they're going to do it smart. And that's one thing with the Mets. I think you're going to see a new way of doing things in Queens. They're going to make smart moves. And they're not going to just make these dumb moves. I mean, Jose Quintana. I think if you're going off of what Sandy Alderson just said about having a third or fourth starter, I mean, yeah, definitely. I think Jose Quintana, he could fit pretty well. I think he could fit really well as a third, well, it would really be a fourth guy, third guy in the beginning of the season, and then Noah Syndergaard comes back. Well, they'll probably ease Noah Syndergaard back in. So Noah Syndergaard they'll treat him more like a fourth or fifth starter. So they're going to ease him back in. So Jose Quintana could be an option. Absolutely could be an option. So now that I think about it, I wonder if a team like the Diamondbacks, who really need pitching, would maybe overpay for someone like him. Would the Red Sox want to bring him in? MLB trade rumors predicted Jose Quintana to go to the Red Sox. So I don't know. Could he maybe the White Sox keep spending some money that maybe they can bring in Jose Quintana? So, I don't know. There's some options out there. Maybe the Mets could bring in James Paxton. I don't know. James Paxton was just in the Bronx. Maybe he goes across town. He can go to the Mets. So James Paxton would be or Tanaka, Elliot Rivera, or Tanaka, Masahiro Tanaka. I think you're going to expect him. He's probably going to get, I would say, probably like 16 to 18 million a year. I could see like a 3-year deal for Masahiro Tanaka, like 3 years, 50 million. What is that? I can't math. 50, hold on. What is that? 50 divided by 3. So yeah, 16.5 million. I could see that, like a 3-year, $50 million deal. Sure. Tanaka with the Mets. I think that's possible. Jake Odorizzi. That could happen. Absolutely. Jake Odorizzi, I think you're going to see him. I feel like Jake Odorizzi's probably going to, I feel like 17 million is the number in my head for Jake Odorizzi. I feel like he's going to get 4 years, 17 million. I could see a 4-year, $68 million deal for Jake Odorizzi. So that's possible. Jake Odorizzi to the Mets. I think that's kind of what you're going to see. I feel like if they are really trying to not spend too much money, which I know sounds kind of counterproductive, but I'm kind of just thinking like, well, are they gonna want to? I don't know. There's so many different things they could do, but I don't know. You could maybe take a chance on a Cole Hamels, maybe Martin Perez. Probably not. God, I hate Martin Perez. I mean, again, John Lester, it's possible. Homer Bailey. Or you could step it up a notch. Bring in a Jose Quintana. Bring in a Jake Odorizzi. Bring in a Masahiro Tanaka. Bring in a James Paxton. You got some good options out there, I think, if you're the Mets. I think if you're the Mets, you don't need to bring in Trevor Bauer. You know why? Because you already have Jacob deGrom. He's the number 1. Marcus Stroman, he's good when he's healthy. I'm just saying, I don't think he's very durable, but Marcus Stroman, when he's healthy, he could be a 2. I'm just saying he could be. Is he going to be the ace of your staff? Probably not. But he's really good when he's healthy. Noah Syndergaard, he comes back. He's on top of his game after Tommy John. Bring in someone like a Jake Odorizzi or a Masahiro Tanaka. That's a pretty decent rotation. So I think thank you, Danny. Thank you very much. And that's crazy that I don't even think about him because I just made a video on him recently. And that's Sagano from Japan. So that's possible as well. So, Tomoyuki Sagano. That is definitely possible. Definitely. So we're really going to have to keep an eye on this. But now I'm starting to think Trevor Bauer, I don't think you're going to the Mets. I think you like I think you like how passionate Mets fans are, Trevor Bauer. If for some reason you are watching this, I think you like the Mets. I think you like where they're going. I think you respect where they're going. I think you like the moves. I think you like the fans. You've liked them reaching out to you. But I think at the end of the day, I'm starting now to lean towards Trevor Bauer is going to go to the Angels. I'm leaning towards that now. It just makes a lot of sense. I mean, especially now when you've kind of seen what the Mets are doing and what they're saying. So I think Trevor Bauer with the Angels, if you really think about it too, the Angels really need some kind of a spark. You know what I mean? They need kind of something over there. And Trevor Bauer at the top of that rotation, that's exactly what they need. They need a guy to slot game one of the playoffs. Trevor Bauer, game one of the playoffs. You could do all the vlogs with Mike Trout. Oh my goodness. I think if you're Trevor Bauer, I think you've seen the Bauer to Anaheim, that hashtag trending on Twitter. I think Trevor Bauer is going to go to the Angels. I think it's just a matter of time. But it's Trevor Bauer. You never know what Trevor Bauer is going to do. Maybe he ends up going to the Mets. I don't know. But either way, that's kind of where I'm at with Trevor Bauer. Jonathan Case, that's where I'm at too. I think Bauer to Anaheim, I think that's going to happen. That's just me. Tell me what you think in the chat. Do you think Trevor Bauer is going to go to another team other than the Mets? I'm starting to think so. Give me a thumbs up in the chat if you think that too. Give me a thumbs down. Do you think no way he's going to the Mets? He's definitely going to the Mets. So, Jonathan Case, you're an Angels fan. You're praying for Bauer. I think all of that Angels fan base is crossing their fingers for Trevor Bauer. Jonathan Case, a trade for Sonny Gray as well. Sonny Gray could really be on the move. That's another guy to keep an eye out for. So, Elliot Rivera, the Blue Jays, definitely don't count out the Blue Jays. Are they going to spend that much money? I don't know. David Knight predicted Bauer to the Angels in your predictions. They have gone too many years. They need an ace. They need an ace, David. When I picked the Mets, I kind of thought about that aspect too. There's another aspect. If you're Trevor Bauer, do you want to be that number two? You were that. So I don't know if you really want to get into the mentality of it, like kind of that deep psychological thinking behind it. If you go back to those college years at UCLA, he was the number 2 behind Garrett Cole. He has a chance now to be the number 1 guy. I'm just saying, that first big contract that you get in the major leagues, he's that number 1 guy, number 2 guy for a long time now. I mean, he's kind of been close to a number 1 guy for the past couple of years. So, past few years actually. But you've had guys in that rotation too, like Clevinger. So, and he was also behind Kluber too. So this is his chance now to be a number 1 guy. The Angels need starting pitching. I don't know. I think he thinks back to UCLA. He's like, man, Garrett Cole gets the Friday night games and I get the Saturday games. Man, I'm behind Garrett Cole. I hate Garrett Cole. I'm the number 2 here. No, but now he can go to the Angels and he can be the number 1 guy. And you get to play with Mike Trout, the best player in baseball. So I think it's going to happen. Trevor Bauer to the Angels. I'm convinced. There's no more convincing for me. I think it's going to happen. If it doesn't happen, I'm going to be surprised. So, but that is what I have on Trevor Bauer. Now, let's stick with pitching. I was going to make this a separate video, but I'm really starting to commit to the live streams. So, the live streams lately have been awesome. You guys have been fantastic. You've been coming out to all of these live streams. Look at this, 130 people in the chat on A Thursday evening at 10:30 at night, 130 people in the chat. You guys are fantastic. I want to say thank you for coming out tonight. I was starting to think I wasn't even going to be able to stream tonight because we were having so many technical difficulties earlier. This is the 4th stream tonight. We started off, we got off to a good 30-minute start, and then everything started messing up. We tried another stream, messed up. Tried another stream, messed up. 4th time's a charm. So the fact that you are all here tonight, right now, 130 people. Also, and people in San Diego and California. It is 7:30 during your time. So yes, Marcos, correct. Anyway, but thank you for coming out tonight. Really awesome. But we're going to touch on one more thing. Here's kind of the fun part of tonight. Well, everything's fun, but here's where we're going to kind of get a little creative. Yu Darvish on the move. We kind of talked about, or maybe on the move. Yu Darvish. He's on the trade block. It seems like everyone with the Cubs right now is on the trade block. A lot of people. It seems like the Cubs are ready to just unload. Theo Epstein's gone. You got Jed Hoyer now in that position. The Cubs, it looks like they are ready to make some moves. However, before I start getting into those moves, into some trades that I came up with, we're going to listen to some audio. And so this was on a podcast. This was on the Cap and J Hood podcast. This is ESPN Chicago. So I'm going to play this for you real quick. And so the guy that, what is his name? Jesse Rogers. He does ESPN Chicago. I'm not a big fan of ESPN. I think ESPN I used to really like ESPN. I really did. I love the Sports Center commercials. Oh, those were so funny. I really liked the guys that they had on it. But ESPN to me now, I'm sorry. It's just, I can't. It's too much politics. It's for me personally, it's a little too much. I just want sports. I don't want to be talking about the politics. I don't know. I don't want to get too into it. I could really rant about it. But this is, I want to talk baseball. So either way, that's a completely different subject. However, ESPN Chicago, Jesse Rogers, he's the guy for the Cubs on ESPN Chicago. So he talked about this today. He made a bold prediction. So I think he's been working with the Cubs now. How long has he been doing Cubs? I think he's been doing Cubs stuff for a while. Okay, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. How long has he been doing Cubs? I don't know. I don't even know who this guy is, but whatever. He's on ESPN Chicago, so Cubs fans, maybe some of you know who he is. Either way, he had a bold prediction, and you know what? I wanted to touch on it. So let me share the screen. That way you can listen. So take a listen.
So you know what? I want to cut to the chase with you. You've got a prediction. I want to hear your bold prediction. I want it now.
Okay, I will give it to you right now. If I'm to believe the things I've heard both publicly, and that's the Chris Bryant stuff, and privately over the last couple days, and I'm starting to believe it, here's my bold prediction. I think there's a better chance Chris Bryant is on the opening day roster than Yu Darvish. I keep hearing Yu Darvish's name is out there in the trade market. I think the phrase "everyone is available" is actually true for this team. I didn't really believe it. You know, of course, Bryant was, Schwarber was, and all that stuff. I don't think Baez will be traded, but truly everybody is available. And I would put now Yu Darvish ahead of Chris Bryant. It's because of what you said before, Cap. They aren't hearing what they want to hear for a Chris Bryant trade. You certainly can get some value back in Yu Darvish. So this team is still in flux. But again, that's my bold prediction today. Now, the fact that...
All right, so as you heard, his bold prediction, but he's also been hearing a couple of things. I'm not sure where he's hearing these things, but he is hearing that Yu Darvish, some talks are starting to start, are starting to happen. So, and he is now believing that Yu Darvish has more of a chance to get traded than Chris Bryant, because when you think about it, with Chris Bryant, he had a really down year this past year. When you talk about Nolan Arenado had a bit of a down year, but not like Chris Bryant did. Chris Bryant's advanced stats have been kind of going down they've been trending down for the last couple of years. So Nolan Arenado's, in my opinion, still has a lot of value, whereas a Chris Bryant, I don't know. He has been trending more down in the last couple of years. So, and then he had a really bad 2020 season. So it is not surprising for me to hear that Yu Darvish has more of a chance to get traded than a Chris Bryant. Why? Because Yu Darvish, first off, is still really good. Second of all, he has a pretty friendly contract. Let's actually go pull up that contract. Yu Darvish, where are you at? Yu Darvish contract. Not a bad contract by any means. Let's share it. He signed a 6-year, $126 million contract. When you look at what these guys are getting paid today, he made $25 million in 2018. Then he made $20 million in 2019. So this year he's going to be making 22. He's going to be making $22 million in 2022, he's going to be making $19 million, and in 2023, at age 36, he's going to be making $18 million. If you look at a guy like Max Scherzer's, I think, about to turn 37, and Max Scherzer just had a really good season as well. Maybe not a really good season, but he's still really effective. So I think Yu Darvish, I think this is a pretty friendly contract for the next 3 years. So with Yu Darvish, he can definitely bring back value. Absolutely can bring back value. Let's actually go to the stats real quick and just look at exactly what you're going to get with a Yu Darvish. This was a guy who people were picking as the Cy Young, and then all of a sudden Trevor Bauer just went on this crazy run. But Yu Darvish last year, holy crap, he was top 3 in the Cy Young voting. He went 8-3, a 2.01 ERA, a 2.7 wins above replacement, a lot of strikeouts over 76 innings, a 0.96 WHIP. What was the FIP was really good too. The FIP led the National League with a 2.23. He had 11 strikeouts per 9. He finished second in the Cy Young voting. So, and MVP voting, what was he? What did he finish in? Oh, it cuts it off. I can't see it. But Yu Darvish, he's very good. You're gonna get a really good guy in Yu Darvish. Yu Darvish to me is a guy that you can put at the top of your rotation. If you can put him with someone, like for instance, if you put Yu Darvish with like a Jacob deGrom, that's like a 1A and a 1B. That's pretty good. Yu Darvish to me is like a 1.5 in a rotation. He is very good. He can be a 1 on some days. Would I want him to be the number 1 guy in your rotation? I wouldn't hate it, but if I had someone like a Garrett Cole instead, I'd probably go with a Garrett Cole. So yeah, Yu Darvish is a guy, if you can get him, you're going to get a really good pitcher in return. And I think there are a lot of trades that can happen. So, first trade, here's the one I came up with. And don't you make fun of my trades. If you don't like it, simply just disagree. But if you think I'm an idiot, that's okay. It's okay. Here we go. Number 1 on this list, I came up with Yu Darvish going to the Twins for Randy Dobnak, Keone Savacco, and Matt Wallner. So I think the Twins would really benefit from a guy like a Yu Darvish. They're going to probably lose Jake Odorizzi. There is still a chance that that Jake Odorizzi can go back. But if you have a chance to get a Yu Darvish instead, I think if you're the Twins, this is something, where if you can get him, that would look good. You got some options in that rotation, a Yu Darvish and a Kenta Maeda, 2 Japanese guys at the top of that rotation. That's got marketing all over it. Look at me coming up with some marketing strategies here. This isn't just good for baseball, but you can definitely market those two. Your 2 Japanese aces at the top of that rotation, 2 of the best Japanese pitchers of all time. But, you got a Jose Barrios in that rotation. You would have to part with a Randy Dobnak, and then you'd have to part with a couple of pretty good prospects as well. And Randy Dobnak is cost controlled. So let's actually break this down a little bit. So I actually went to baseball trade values and I plugged this in. I know some people are not a big fan of baseball trade values, but you know what I am, so leave me alone. Here we go. So Twins, here we go. So with the Cubs, this is a bit of an overpay for the Twins, but let me actually plug it in so you can see. It's not too far off, but here we go. Dobnak. Where are you at, dude? I know you're here somewhere. Here you are. Dobnak, and then who is the other guy? Can't fully remember. I'm forgetting. I'm going blank on his name. Who is the other guy? Hold on, I got it written down. Oh, I can't remember the guy's name. It was, Keone Savacco. Here, let me keep this up, so then I'll pull it all up. Here we go. Cubs, and then we had Matt Wallner. Wallner. Where are you at, dude? Here we go. So, all right, now let me share my screen. Here we go. So we did Darvish for Dobnak, Savacco, and Wallner. So again, this is according to the values on baseball trade values. It is a bit of an overpay from the Twins end. I don't know. To me, I think Darvish should get a bit more value here. That's just me. I don't fully agree with everything. So, I don't know. But that's just me. I think he should be like I don't know. They have their algorithms and everything. I respect what they do. I just like Darvish, man. I don't know. Whatever. I'm being biased. But this is a trade. I think if you're the Cubs, maybe you could just do Dobnak and Savacco. You'd be closer there. But I think if you're the Cubs, really try and push for another guy. And if we actually go to the Twins' top prospects. So let's take a look here. So Savacco, he is their number 7 prospect. And Wallner is their number 13 prospect. So they're both pretty far away. So Keone is a rookie at the moment. He's in his rookie year. Or not rookie in the major. He's in rookie ball. And then Wallner, he's at the single A level right now. So they're both pretty far away. But at least in this trade, you're going to be getting a guy like a Randy Dobnak, who in my opinion is really good. I like Randy Dobnak. He's pretty underrated, in my opinion. Let me pull up the stats. And look at that mustache. I mean, come on. Honestly, I would trade for this guy just because of the mustache. Look at it. It's fantastic. Look at the glasses. Look at those goggles. Look at this guy. This guy's awesome. Bring this guy to Chicago. This dude looks like a Cub. I'm just saying. Come on, look at this guy. Anyway, but looking at the stats, pretty good year for his rookie season, or is it his rookie season? I know he pitched a little in 2019. But a 4.05 ERA, 3.96 FIP, not too much on the strikeouts. Only 5 strikeouts per 9, but he's more of a control kind of a guy. Let's pull up Randy Dobnak on Baseball Savant. So Randy Dobnak, what do you got for me here, dude? All right, so yeah, I mean, he's got some pretty good stuff going on here. Not much with the velocity. He's going to be sitting in the low 90s, but he doesn't give up a lot of barrels. Exit velocity, pretty good. He does give up some hard hit balls. Not great spin on the fastball, but he doesn't really walk a lot of guys. And I don't know, I think this is a guy, he's young. He's only 25 years old. I think if you're the Cubs, you can get this guy back for a Yu Darvish, a couple of prospects. I don't know. I think that's I think this would be a pretty decent return, especially with a couple of prospects as well. So here we go. Everyone, what do you think of this trade? Let me pull it up one more time. Give me a thumbs up for this trade if you think this is a good trade, or give me a thumbs down. I'm really interested to see. I came up with this all on my own. So let me know what you think. Thumbs up or thumbs down? Kira does not like it. Jackson does not like it. Orioles does not like it. Oh, we're 0 for 3. Joe is vomiting. At least this is the first one. We got to get the vomits out. Sam Ty is okay with it. Oh, Odd Villain doesn't like it. Oh no. All right. Well, at least I got rid of at least I got a bad one out of the way early. Okay, all right. We got some thumbs ups. Okay. All right. Gonzalez is okay. Hey, we got a Cubs fan. Craig Brindle, 3 out of 10. All right. Well, here we go. That's only the first one. I got a few more chances here. Again, if you don't like them, if you don't like the trades, you don't have to agree. It's okay. If you think I'm an idiot, that's okay. But I'm trying here, okay? So either way, now the next one. Let's try this one. Let's see what you guys think of this one. Here we go. Yu Darvish to the Giants for Logan Webb and Alexander Canario. Maybe this is okay. Do we have Hum Baby Baseball in the chat right now? Does he like this trade? Maybe. Giants fans, what do you think? I don't know. I kind of like this trade, honestly. I think with the Cubs, you're getting a guy like a Logan Webb. He's a young, cost-controlled starting pitcher. And you're also getting a pretty decent prospect. So here we go. Let me set this trade up on baseball trade values. That way you can see the values, at least that they give them. So here we go. Cubs to sending Darvish to the Giants. And then the Giants. Here we go. Logan Webb. Where are you at? Logan Webb and Alexander Canario. Here we go. So sharing the screen. All right, so this is the values right here. So with the Giants, you are giving a little more value back, about 4 more points on here. So Alexander Canario, he's an outfield prospect. He's got a lot of raw power. He's got some smoothing out to do. We can actually pull him up real quick. Here we go. San Francisco Giants. So right now, Canario is their number 7 prospect. So he is pretty close to Major League ready. I believe he has played in AA in 2019. No. Okay, so he hasn't. Okay, so he has not played above. I don't know why they have him at MLB. Did he come in for the Giants at all in this season? I don't know why they have him at MLB. But either way, he's got a lot of talent. And this is a guy where his on base has been really good in his minor league career. 377 on base so far. He's had 27 home runs, over 170 games. Pretty decent for a guy that's, kind of trying to smooth out his swing. But this guy can hit a ball a mile. Again, there's just a lot of smoothing out for him. So he's got a lot of bat speed. But he tends to be a little pull happy, as they say right here. He tries to hunt for the home run a lot. And he has a pretty high strikeout rate of 30%. So he's an average runner. You're most likely going to see him. It says here he'll need to improve his reads and his routes to remain in center, while his solid to plus arm fits nicely in right. So you could see him maybe being more of a corner outfielder. So again, but then you look at a guy like a Logan Webb. Logan Webb, baseball savant. Logan Webb, I believe, 24 years old at the moment. He hasn't had the numbers really pop up for him yet, but he's had some pretty decent stuff. This is Logan Webb right now. Let's actually real quick. Hopefully I don't get copyrighted. So let's copyright this. This dude he's got some pretty good stuff. So
it's not like he's been a complete.
he's going to throw like 92, kind of sit in the low 90s a little bit.
Kind of fish.
He's got a changeup.
That's strike 3.
I'm really looking for this changeup here. Give me a changeup. This changeup is nasty. No. One more try. Let's see if we can pull up a changeup. No, not really. Anyway, whatever. But he's got a really good changeup. He doesn't give up a lot of barrels. I know there's a lot of blue right here, but there is definitely some potential with him. He was a 4th-round pick. But where is that changeup? Again, he throws it a lot, but it's really good. So as you can see here, look at how red this is. This shows that his changeup has a lot of movement. That's why I was really trying to pull it up. I'm going to try one more time. Dude, his changeup is so nasty. Please show me a changeup. Come on. Oh, come on. I wish you can just,
After that.
have them, I wish they just had, a changeup. There it is. Did you see that changeup? Holy crap. Look how nasty this is. Oh, that just drops. Here we go. One more time. The video is kind of lagging. Look at this one more time. Ooh, that is a nasty changeup. Absolutely nasty. This guy has potential. Really has potential. And I think if you're the Cubs, hey, if you can get these two guys back for a Yu Darvish, I think that's a pretty good haul. So the Cubs definitely need some outfield prospects, that's for sure. So tell me what you think in the chat. Did I do a little better with this one? Thumbs up, thumbs down. What do you think? Let me know. I'll pull it back up right here. Let me know what you think in the chat. All right, Jackson, we're on the right track. Joe gives it a 4. Okay, we're trending up. Oh, Sam Ty doesn't like it. He's vomiting all over the place. Michael Yanks, Giants are way behind the hometown Padres, and we have one of the best farm systems. Hey, maybe they can definitely pull a trade for a Darvish then, because Cubs really need some farm systems. All right, we got some betters. AJ Ramos, 7 out of 10. Okay, all right. I did okay with this one. All right, here we go. Let's see if you guys like this next one. Okay, here we go. So that was number 5 on the list. I came up with 6 total. Here we go. Number 4. Yu Darvish to the Diamondbacks for Luke Weaver and Corbin Martin. I think some of you might not like this one because Luke Weaver was absolutely garbage last year. I don't know. Oh, we got a 10 out of 10? Ooh, okay. Oh, Jacob didn't like it. But here we go. I kind of like this trade because, first off, the Diamondbacks need starting pitching. They need starting pitching. They're horrible with starting pitching. Madison Bumgarner was a complete bust last season. Luke Weaver was a complete bust too. Luke Weaver was absolutely terrible. So here, let me actually pull this trade up real quick on Baseball Savant, baseball trade values. Here we go. Luke Weaver, he had a pretty down year, but he's still 26 years old. He's got a lot of potential. Here we go. Where are we at? Corbin Martin, where are you? Here we go. Cubs. I should have prepared these prior so I didn't have to do this, but here we go. All right, so let's share the screen so that way you can see the values on baseball trade value. So here we go. Diamondbacks getting Darvish. Can you guys see it? Yeah, you can. Okay. Diamondbacks getting Darvish, Corbin Martin, Luke Weaver. 25.70 for the Cubs would be getting. Diamondbacks, they would get Yu Darvish. So I think this is actually not too bad. If we go take a look here, let's take a look at Weaver. Again, Weaver did... Oh, no, I don't want Jeff Weaver. No. I did like me some Jeff Weaver with those 2006 Cardinals, though. Jeff Weaver was a beast in those playoffs. Remember Jeff Weaver in the 2006 playoffs with the Cardinals? Oh, goodness. Here we go. So Luke Weaver, again, just pretty bad numbers all over the board, but he's got a lot of spin rate on that fastball. He doesn't walk a lot of guys. So those are 2 good signs. He had a really bad year. A really bad year. 1-9, 6.58 ERA. Just not a good year. Let's actually go to Fangraphs real quick. Here we go. Fangraphs. Okay, Weaver. I believe his BABIP was pretty high. So let's take a look. So when you have a high BABIP, that tends not to be a good sign. Holy crap. Look at that BABIP. Batting average on balls in play, 349. Look at his career. Well, his career BABIP is a 328 because of that 349. But holy cow, that is really high. That suggests that a lot of balls fell into play. Holy crap, that he just did not get lucky a lot. But the home runs went up. His xFIP was bad, 5.06. The FIP was better, 4.67. But I think with Luke Weaver, there's still a lot of potential here. He had a good year in the year prior. Where was it? So he had a 2.94 ERA in 2019. He had a 4.45 FIP in 2018. 2017, he was pretty good. I think this is a guy that can be like a 3 or a 4 in your rotation. I like Luke Weaver. I just think he just had a lot of bad luck last year. So if we go take a look at Corbin Martin. Corbin Martin is an interesting one. Corbin Martin went back to the Diamondbacks in the Zach Greinke trade. Where are we at? Arizona Diamondbacks. Oh, they're first. I don't know my alphabet. Here we go. So Corbin Martin, he's the number 6 prospect for the Diamondbacks right now. I wonder if the Diamondbacks would want to part with him. They just got him back in the Zach Greinke deal. But this is a guy where he's got a good fastball. This is a guy that can sit in the mid-90s for the most part. Hits 98 with running action. Did he have Tommy John? I think he had Tommy John. Yeah, he had Tommy John. So, yeah, he had Tommy John. Yep. So, it says here, before he got hurt, he was doing really well at commanding his fastball and throwing strikes. He has a lot of athleticism. So, and he can maintain his stuff into the late innings. This is a guy where he has a lot of potential. He's the number 6 prospect with the Diamondbacks right now. So, I think Corbin Martin, you got these two. Luke Weaver, still a young, cost-controlled starter. Corbin Martin has a lot of potential as a prospect. Diamondbacks get a really good starting pitcher in return. I think this is a deal that could happen. So, one more time. I did see some thumbs ups and stuff earlier, but let's go over it one more time. Thumbs up if you like this trade. Thumbs down if you do not like this trade. So it looks like with each trade, I'm getting maybe a little better. Yeah, Joe likes it. Craig does not like the trade, but he does like Corbin Martin. Jacob does not like it. Jackson, no. Greg with the thumbs up. Jesse, thumbs down. Robert. Oh, is that a blank face? It's like I have a glare on my screen. Oh, Robert with the blank face. Steve Silva with the thumbs up. Jonathan Case is vomiting everywhere. Jacob with the thumbs down. Michael Yanch, thumbs down again. No one but the Padres and Dodgers are going to compete. Yeah, I don't know. If you're the Diamondbacks, I actually like the Diamondbacks. I think they have a lot of potential on that team. Dobbs, he gives it a 5 out of 10. Okay. Austin, Savage was Jordan with a thumbs up. What's going on, Jordan? Savage Gamer 34, up and down. So, Brian Buckley with the 1 out of 10. Oh, no. All right, hopefully he likes the next trade. So, Giovanni, I just did a trade with the Giants. Look, did you miss it? Maybe you're just coming in. But, look, I just did this trade with the Giants. So some of you liked it, some of you didn't. So there we are. Okay. Alrighty, moving on. We got another trade. So now we're going to start getting into the top 3 of the trades that I came up with. I think some of you are going to like this. Some of you are not going to like this. I think some of you are not going to like this for one particular reason. It has to do with someone on the free agent market. His name may or may not be Trevor Bauer. I think you know maybe where I'm going with this. But I have Yu Darvish going to the Angels. Yu Darvish. Going back to the Cubs would be Jordan Adams and Patrick Sandoval. What do you think? I don't know. I think this is a fun one. I kind of like this. I like Yu Darvish on the Angels. You got Shohei Ohtani over there. Dobbs does not like it. Nope. The DGN boys, 7 out of 10. Zachary does not like it. Oh, no. Oh, Derek Dan Channel, 2 out of 10. But E. Gonzalez gives it a 9 out of 10. Jordan Adams, change him out for Jameis Jones, and you'll be good. Oh, that's interesting. We'll go look at the prospects here in a second. Here, let me plug in these guys on baseball trade values, and you'll see the values kind of where, again, I kind of tend to look at the values, pretty good, I would say. I try not to go too heavy on what baseball trade values gives. Here we go. Darvish, where are you at? All right, Sandoval and Adams. Okay, so let's share. Let's see what Baseball Trade Values gives it. All right, here we go. So the Cubs, they would be getting back a value, according to their website, of 26.20, while Darvish would go back to the Angels. Now, Darvish would be huge for the Angels. But also, if you're the Angels, if you can bring in Yu Darvish and then maybe sign Trevor Bauer as well, are you kidding me? The 1-2 in the NL Cy Young this past year on the same team? Are you kidding me? Hello? Trevor Bauer? Yu Darvish? Hello? I that's not bad if you ask me. Dylan Bundy is your number 3. Andrew Heaney is your number 4. I think that's pretty good. I'm just saying. I see. Yeah, Joe, you think this is an option if the Angels strike out on Bauer? Yeah, absolutely. But man, could you imagine getting both? I'm just saying. But here we go. Let's take a look at. Let's take a look at the Angels prospects here. We'll take a look at Sandoval as well. Sandoval is another young starting pitcher. Los Angeles Angels. Here we go. So right now, I see where you're going with Jahmai Jones. Yeah, that could be a possibility. Absolutely. But Jordan Adams, I have him as the number 3. So as of right now, Jordan Adams is the number 3 prospect, according to MLB.com, in the Angels system. So Jordan Adams, he is a uber athletic guy. Oh my goodness. The athleticism is through the roof. Look at his run grade. An 80. He's one of the fastest guys in the minor leagues. He's got a 50 power. He's good in the field. Arm is a little weak. Probably more of like a left fielder. But I mean, he definitely could be a center fielder because of his speed, but the arm just isn't all that great. It says right here, Adams has top of the scale speed that should allow him to wreak havoc on the base pass. It also helps him cover a lot of ground in the outfield where he has a chance to be an outstanding defender, especially as he improves his reads and routes. So I wonder if the arm would fit well in center. When I think of a bad arm in center field, I would think of Johnny Damon. Not a great arm out there, but yeah, so while Adams has a long way to go in terms of refining his skills, he's been much more advanced at the plate than anyone anticipated, especially given his split focus across 2 sports as an amateur. His plate discipline has been very impressive with a high walk rate and excellent pitch selection, helping him rarely chase pitches outside the strike zone. That gives him a better chance to reach his high offensive ceiling as he continues to physically mature, add strength, and refine his swing. So if we take a look at what he's done so far, in 2019, he did go up to high A ball, but overall in the minor leagues, he has hit 259, not great, but his on base is a 353. Not too many home runs, 8 home runs in 138 games. He's got 49 RBIs. So this is a guy where you could see him maybe be at the top of the order one day, like a pretty good leadoff hitter, because he has the on base to be a leadoff hitter. So, and he's got the speed. So this could be your future leadoff hitter if you can get him if you're the Cubs. But then if you go to a guy like Patrick Sandoval. So Patrick Sandoval is an interesting one. Very young, cost-controlled, 24 years old. He's a lefty. He has some things that do stick out with the advanced metrics. He has a really good curveball. Let's actually take a look at Patrick Sandoval real
activated
quick.
Today before the ball game.
Here's Patrick Sandoval. Okay, this is lagging. There we go. Here's a strikeout from him.
Against you as a pitcher. Got him with a fastball away.
So that's a fastball.
Compared to a fastball.
Let's see if he can throw a curve. Nope. Come on. I wish you can just like pick like what pitch you want to see. Oh my God. Okay, so he likes to throw the fastball for his strikeouts. You can definitely see that. There's that curveball. Look at that curveball. Look at this curveball one more time. Woo! Pretty good. Not bad at all. Let's take a look at one more video. Oh, now I mean he's got some good stuff. Got some good stuff from the left side. Stat wise, let's actually. Hold on, did I go past? Yeah. Oh, here we go. Not really too much with the stats so far. He had 6 starts this past year. In 2 seasons overall. I mean, not great with the numbers, but the strikeouts are not bad. So Patrick Sandoval, let's take a look. Actually, I'll do this in a separate tab. Patrick Sandoval. Again, the big thing is he is only 24 years old. So he's cost controlled. He was drafted in the 11th round in 2015. So he's definitely been a bit of a diamond in the rough. He really progressed through that Angels system. Let's take a look. Do we have the minor leagues? Well, okay, let's just look at his stats real quick. One thing that I like with him, he's averaging about 9 strikeouts per 9 over those first 2 seasons that he's had. The walks are a little high, not bad. Home runs, not bad. But there are some things. I mean, the FIP was pretty high in 2020. I mean, in his rookie year, it was pretty good. But let's kind of look at how he did in the minor leagues. So in the minors, overall in his minor league career, had a 4.01 ERA. Not bad. But then you look at the strikeouts per 9. He was, why can't I see the, so he had about 10 strikeouts per 9. I don't know why I can't scroll all the way over to the right. I don't know what's going on. But he had 10 strikeouts per 9 in the minor leagues. So in Double-A, he had a 2.50 ERA. He had 13 strikeouts per 9. So that's where he really started to shine, was in Double-A. Triple-A, I don't know what the heck happened to him in Triple-A. But Double-A, there's usually a lot of good there's usually a lot of good talent in Double-A. So he did really well there. I'm not sure what happened in Triple-A. Something was going on with him there. I don't know, because the walks went up, strikeouts went down. I don't know what the heck happened to him there. But either way, that's what you'd be getting in this trade. So, again, you know, this is what you'd be getting for Yu Darvish. So, give me a thumbs up in the chat if you like this one. Give me a thumbs down if you don't like this one. What do you think? I don't know. I like Jordan Adams. I think he's just super athletic. Dude, the athleticism, the speed. He could be your future leadoff hitter. Maybe be your center fielder of the future. Sandoval, young starting pitcher. All right, here we go. Okay, all right, I'm seeing some thumbs ups. Okay. Oh, Jackson with the thumbs down. I am not making Jackson happy tonight. I will make Jackson happy tonight. That is my goal. I need to make Jackson happy with one of these trades. That is the goal, everyone. Jackson, the moderator, has not been impressed with these trades. I have to impress him by the end of the night. If I don't, I will cry myself to sleep, just like I do every night over Mookie Betts. So, all right, Craig Brindle, 5 out of 10. Cubs fan. Adams is intriguing. All righty. Okay. Joe, man, you really like Jones. You like Jones. I don't know. I'm biased with Adams, man. I love that speed. That guy's super athletic. Here we go. Next trade. All righty. So now we're getting to number 2. Number 2 on this list. I actually don't remember what this trade was. What was number 2? All right, we'll find out. It was... Yu Darvish to the Blue Jays for Alek Manoah, Miguel Geraldo, and Anthony K. Blue Jays fans in the chat, you have got to like this one. Tell me you don't like this. Blue Jays fans, if you got Yu Darvish, you know you would rip your pants off and you would run around outside screaming at the top of your lungs. If you got Yu Darvish, you would be the happiest fan base on the planet. Here we go. Let me plug these into baseball trade values. Can you just see Yu Darvish in that Toronto Blue Jays jersey? I am envisioning it right now. No! Sam Ty is vomiting everywhere. I thought this was going to get a thumbs up all across the board. I was wrong. Sam Ty is vomiting. Everyone, please give Sam Ty some Pepto-Bismol because he is not liking this. Hold on. We're almost done plugging this in. All right. Yu Darvish on the Blue Jays. Okay. Man, Blue Jays, they got a decent farm system, by the way. I was looking at these guys. Good grief. They got a lot of guys. Here we go. And Anthony K. Okay, so, alrighty. Let's share the screen. Okay, so here is the trade. Yu Darvish going to the Blue Jays. Cubs giving up their third base prospect, Geraldo, giving up Anthony K, left-handed. They have him as a relief pitcher, but, he's supposed to be a starter. He came over in the Marcus Stroman trade. And then Alek Manoah, one of their top pitching prospects. So let's go over this real quick. Toronto Blue Jays, where are you at? Okay, so Alek Manoah, as of right now, he is their number 5 prospect with the Blue Jays right now. And then Miguel Geraldo is their number 9 prospect. They have him as a shortstop, second baseman. So, he can play third. He was playing third at one point. Did they move him? Questions pertaining to Geraldo's ability to stick at shortstop long term will continue to follow him as he moves through the minors. And though he handled the position well in his pro debut, thanks to his athleticism and above-average arm strength, he spent more than half his time in the field in 2019 at second base. As a physically advanced teenager with below-average speed and modest defensive actions, Geraldo is likely to end up at the hot corner. Okay, so they have him at third. So this is a guy where, if we're looking at Miguel Geraldo, he's got a ton of bat speed. He's strong. He's got a compact swing. He drives the ball really well. This is a guy that can hit around 20 to 30 home runs. He sounds like a prototypical, power hitting third baseman. If we take a look at the stats in his career, in the minor leagues, so far in the minors, he's hit 300. I believe the highest he has gone is single A. Okay, so he played one game in single A. So he's played rookie ball. That's the highest he's gone. But overall, though, he's hit 300. He has a 354 on base. He's got 9 homers over 121 games. But as that swing as he continues to mature and he continues to develop, you could see that those power numbers really start to spike. Miguel Geraldo, this is a guy where if he does end up staying at third base, that could maybe be your long-term replacement with Chris Bryant most likely going somewhere else. And then Alek Manoah, right-hander, number 5 prospect. So he did just get drafted, I believe. So he was the first round pick in 2019 last year. He was the 11th overall pick. So overall, he pitched 6 games. He hasn't really had much experience yet in the minor leagues, but 2.65 ERA. Where did he get drafted from? I don't remember. I feel like did he go to, I don't remember. I feel like he was in California or something. I don't remember where he was, but this is a guy, number 5 prospect. And then if we go look up Anthony K, he came over in that Marcus Stroman trade. Okay, and he's a left-hander, so never hurts to have a left-hander. Here we go. His popularity is going up. So this is a guy, he got some blue here, but he's got good spin rate on the fastball. Fastball velocity is pretty good. He's in the middle with his whiff percentage, a decent curveball. So, yeah, he was the 31st pick in the first round in 2016. Let's share a random video here. So I guess he pitched more out of the bullpen this past year. So, yeah, decent fastball right there. He looks like he's more on the shorter side, 6 foot. So let's take a look here.
And K with a 3-2.
Oh, shoot. So Anthony K. Oh, pretty good movement on that. Oh, that was against my Red Sox. Oh, goodness. Anthony K. Oh, yeah, got a good curveball right there. One more. Just so you can get an idea of Anthony K. Yeah, good fastball velocity. He'll sit around probably like 93, 94. He can probably pump it up, maybe 95, 96. So I think this is a pretty good trade in my opinion. I mean, obviously I came up with the trade. I'm not trying to sound biased though, but I like this trade. I think this would be really good. I think with the Cubs, you'd be getting a few pieces here. I don't know. I like this. I just think you're getting a pretty good pitching prospect. He was the 11th pick overall in the draft last year. Miguel Geraldo, pretty good, power hitting third baseman. Could be your third baseman of the future, maybe. You're getting a decent major league ready left-hander in Anthony Kay. And then, hey, the Blue Jays, you're getting Yu Darvish. I mean, you got Hyun-Jin Ryu and Yu Darvish at the top of that rotation. I don't know, pretty good 1-2 punch if you ask me. So let me know in the chat. Oh, Joe Schubert, he likes it. A 9 out of 10. Strong work. Oh, appreciate that. Brian Buckley, thank you so much, my friend. Thank you so much. Jackson, yes. Jackson is happy about this one. That's yes. I'll pat myself on the back for that. I was able to make Jackson happy with this one. All righty. Oh no, Jacob Shifter. Oh, he's vomiting all over the place. Everyone, please give him the Pepto-Bismol. He needs it. Oh, I can't make everyone happy. No! Sam Ty with a -0 out of 10. Brian Buckley with the 10 out of 10 with the exclamation points. All righty, here we go. I do like this trade. I think if the Blue Jays got Yu Darvish, I think that would be crazy. Now, let's see if I can end this on a good note. If I can end this on a good note, I think I did pretty good tonight. I started off a little weak, but that's okay. That's okay. It's not about how you start. It's about how you finish. This is the trade that I think needs to happen. I think this needs to happen. I don't know. I'm curious to see what you guys think about this one. Here we go. At number 1, I have... I'm excited to see what you guys think about this one. Let's see. Yu Darvish going to the New York Yankees for Clark Schmidt, Miguel Andujar, and Michael King. If you're the Yankees, you need to make this happen. You have got to make this happen if you're the New York Yankees. You got to do it. If you're the Yankees, you got to overspend a little bit. Dude, you need a number 2 for that rotation. You need a number 2 behind Garrett Cole. You need it. Stop playing around, New York. Look how bad you did in the playoffs when Garrett Cole was not pitching. Oh, my goodness. Yankees, go get Yu Darvish right now. I'm seeing some people not like this one. Oh, no. That's okay. But either way, I like this trade. Maybe not I think maybe the trade you could move some pieces around, but I'll tell you, I still like Miguel Andujar. Here we go. So if you look at the numbers on baseball trade values, they're a lot closer than it seems. You might be thinking Miguel Andujar has a bit of maybe a negative value at this point. Clark Schmidt, let's pull him up here. Here we go. All righty. Michael King, where are you at? And then Andujar. Okay, here we go. Now let's share the screen. All righty. So here we go. Yankees getting Yu Darvish, and the Cubs getting Clark Schmidt, Michael King, and Miguel Andujar. So the Cubs would be getting a 26.30 value, while the Yankees, they'd get their number 2 to go behind Garrett Cole. This is a move for the playoffs. This is the move you got to make. I don't know. Yeah, Frankie, I agree. Maybe they don't. Maybe they don't want to part ways with Clark Schmidt. But I think, man, if you really want to go after that ring, if you really want to go after that World Series, I think you need to bring in a guy like this. That's just my opinion. I think the Yankees, they're close. They're not far. They're not far away. You saw how they did in the playoffs. Maybe if, instead of a Clark Schmidt, I'm seeing. So yeah, Frankie, you're saying no way they trade him. So maybe you could do someone else besides a Clark Schmidt. I know that's a pretty tough piece to let go. But let's actually pull up. So right now, let's go over this. So right now, Clark Schmidt is the number 2 prospect in their system. That's tough. I know. Maybe this could have been maybe number 2 on this list. I think a lot of you like that Blue Jays trade. But again, Clark Schmidt would be tough. Maybe instead of Clark Schmidt, I don't know, maybe you can do a Davy Garcia. I think Garcia's actually got more value right now than a Clark Schmidt. Yeah, Davy Garcia's got more value. Maybe instead of a Clark Schmidt, you could do, I don't know, Domingo Germán? Could you do a Domingo Germán? I don't know. Luke Voit? Nah. Clint Frazier? Maybe. I don't know. Maybe if you're the Yankees, you go sign Kyle Schwarber and maybe do Clint Frazier instead of Schmidt. What do you think about that? Maybe? Maybe? I mean, Kyle Schwarber in that Yankees jersey, left field. Nope, not liking this. Not liking that. Nope, I'm seeing some vomiting going on. All right, I'm pulling Frazier back. Okay, maybe a Jordan Montgomery. Maybe we just take King out of there, huh? Where's King? How about this? We could do Jordan Montgomery and Miguel Andujar. Maybe. I don't know. Again, they actually have Montgomery at a much higher value. So, I don't know. Again, but yeah, I'm seeing Hicks. So, the problem with Aaron Hicks, he actually has a negative value. So, you could get creative here. You could maybe do an Aaron Hicks. And then, hold on. If you want the Cubs to take on that contract, then yeah. I don't know, but that's still really far apart. Look at that. It's a negative 11.30. I know this is not the end-all, be-all when it comes to, making trades and what's good and what's not good. But Aaron Hicks here, he's got a negative about 35 on here. I don't think he's that low. I don't know. That contract, the thing is he doesn't make a lot of money each year. But he has like a freaking 28-year contract or something. The dude is getting paid so long. I was so confused about that contract. I was like, what? But I think that's why his value is so low on here. But I don't know. What do you do? But that's where I was at. I think if you're the Yankees, I don't know. Maybe instead of a Schmidt, you could do something like, let's take Schmidt off of here. I know Schmidt was a bit of a tough one. Your number 2 prospect. That I understand. That's a bit hard to swallow. Maybe I don't know. The thing with Domingo Germán is that he had the domestic issues. Do you want that? I don't know. Maybe you could do an Oswald Peraza. I don't know. If you're looking at the Yankees' top prospects, maybe Peraza, maybe Gill. Florial maybe. I don't know. Maybe that. Florial. Gill. I don't know. I think maybe something like that. The Cubs would get a decent amount of prospects back. But I think Andujar could really fit here. I mean, he was so good just a couple of years ago, and then he got hurt, and then Gio Urshela took the job, and he never turned back. And then Andujar just has not been able to fit anywhere. I think this would give Matthew Dillon, what's going on? If you get Andujar, I think that's not a bad get. He's got potential still. Andujar is, how old is he? I think he's 25. How old is he? He's 25. So, I mean, I think he just finished second in Rookie of the Year voting not too long ago. 2 years ago. So he got hurt. And then it's like, and then all of a sudden it's just like, well, Miguel Andujar is garbage now. And that's like, I don't believe that. I think he did really good in 2018. So, I don't know. Maybe something like this. you'd have to give up a lot of prospects here. I don't know. Maybe you could take off like Peraza. And then maybe instead, I don't know, if you go over here, maybe like a Vizcaino, something like that. Or maybe a Toshman or Talkman. I always forget how to pronounce that. I don't know, maybe something like that. So you would get the Yankees, you would get their number 7 prospect. Who was the other guy? You would get their number 5 prospect, number 7 prospect, and their number 8 prospect. I think that actually seems a little realistic. You know? I actually think maybe that could happen. Now that I think about it, I know Clark Schmidt's kind of hard to part with there. Thank you, Joe. I appreciate that. Number 2 prospect for the number 2 in the Cy Young. I mean, again, that is a hard one to get rid of. I think if you get rid of Schmidt, I think if you just did Schmidt straight up for Darvish, I think that's possible. Because another thing with Darvish is you're going to have him for another 4 years. I think with Darvish, he's not a free agent until 2024. So you're going to get Darvish for a few more years. So I don't know. All right, are we back? I think we're back now. All right, I think we're good. All right, so I think it'd be okay. You take out King, maybe just do Clark Schmidt and Miguel Andujar. You know, Michael King. I think if you're the Yankees, I don't know if you'd want to part with this much, but I'd be okay with taking out Michael King. But yeah, just do Clark Schmidt, Miguel Andujar maybe. But I like this trade. I think more importantly, where I'm at with this trade is I think the Yankees need someone like this. I think they really need to get a guy like a Yu Darvish. They need to get a number 2 for that rotation behind Garrett Cole. If you have Garrett Cole and Yu Darvish, oh my, that would be a really good 1-2 punch for the playoffs. I think they really need that. So that's kind of where I'm at with that trade. So it's not really necessarily the trade. It's more the reason I had the Yankees in the number 1 spot there was just because of the fact they just need a number 2. So that's where I'm at. Pro Baseball Radar, what's going on? I thought I followed you back on Twitter earlier. I didn't follow you back. I'm so sorry. I'll go follow you back here in a minute. But so everyone, that is all I got for tonight. This actually went on a lot longer than I thought it would. We originally went live at 8:30, and then we were about 30 minutes in, and then the audio started not to work. We tried another stream. That didn't work. We tried another stream. That didn't work. And then we did this stream, and it finally worked. And I think we ended up starting at like 9:30, I believe. So we've been at this for about 2 hours. So everyone, wow, what a great night. This ended up turning out to be an awesome night talking baseball. So just to do a quick review, Nolan Arenado, I think there's a chance he really could go to the Mets. I'm starting to be a believer in this kind of a trade. I'm starting to think Trevor Bauer may not end up going to the Mets. I predicted him to go to the Mets, but I think the Mets, I think they have a set value on Trevor Bauer. And if a team goes above that, I think they're completely okay with moving on. I think he's going to end up with the Angels. And then we went over some Yu Darvish trades. He is on the trade block. Jesse Rogers of ESPN Chicago, he is hearing that Yu Darvish is getting the most attention in trade talks. Not surprising there. And then we went over some trades. Yu Darvish maybe could go to the Twins for Randy Dobnak, Keone Savaco, Matt Wallner, a couple of good prospects in their system. Maybe to the Giants for Logan Webb and Alexander Canario, pretty good outfield prospect. Maybe the Diamondbacks, who really need some starting pitching, had some of the worst starting pitching last year. Maybe for a Luke Weaver and a Corbin Martin. Coming in after that, I had him going to the Angels. Jordan Adams, their number 3 prospect, 24-year-old Patrick Sandoval, young starting pitcher. I think this trade seemed to get the most thumbs ups This one seemed to be the one that everyone in here seemed to like the most. Yu Darvish to the Blue Jays for Alex Manoah, Miguel Geraldo, and Anthony Kay. And then I'd say some of you were pretty split on this one. Again, I think the Yankees need him the most. I really do like this Blue Jays trade. I think the Blue Jays really need him, but goodness gracious, the Yankees are so close, and if they got Yu Darvish, that would be incredible. So Jackson likes that Angels one. All right. Yeah, but you know what? I think either way, I think Darvish, with the one thing that we're going to see, if we do see a Yu Darvish trade, I think the common denominator in all of those trades was a young, cost-controlled, major league ready player and a prospect or two with it. And I think that would get the job done for a Yu Darvish. So, everyone, thank you so much for coming out tonight. Fantastic night talking baseball. Always a great time. That's all I got. It's 11:30. My favorite donut place of all time. Can I actually show you this real quick? If you ever get a chance, if any of you ever get the chance to come to Orlando, where I live, or Miami, or if you live in Dallas, Texas, you need to go to this donut place. It is opening tomorrow. It is one of my favorite places of all time. Can I please just show you what? Oh my God. I need to show you this. You know what? Let me go to their Instagram. I just want pictures. You know, okay, their website's good. All right, everyone, tomorrow is their grand opening, and I am so excited about this. They have one in Miami. Look at these donuts. Oh my God. Dude, you need to go to the Salty Donut. If you ever hear of the Salty Donut, I am telling you, it's some of the best donuts you are ever going to have. These are like artisan craft donuts. Holy crap, I am sweating right now. The grand opening is tomorrow at 7 a.m. I am probably going to be there at 5 a.m. sitting outside like a freaking weirdo, sitting outside of a donut shop at 5 a.m. Not even kidding. I want to be their first customer. So I'm probably going to be a bit tired tomorrow. I hope I wake up in time. Look at these freaking donuts. Do we have more? Here we go. Actually, can we just go to this picture? Look at this. Look how beautiful that looks. I don't even know what this is. What is this? But whatever. It looks amazing. Look at this donut. Look at this cookies and cream cake donut. Oh my God. They're cream-filled donuts. Look at that lime just sitting on top of it. Look how beautiful that looks. A birthday cake donut. Oh, look at this. There's bacon on that one. Look at this. Look at that. Oh my, everyone, this is give me oh my God. This, just look. Do they have any more? Yeah, if you do live in, look, beautiful. Beautiful. Look at this. This is where I'm going tomorrow morning. I'm so excited. Grand opening. They have a location in Dallas, Texas, in Miami, opening tomorrow in Orlando. I am not affiliated with these people at all. They have no idea that I'm doing this. But just look at this. There is a cookie on that donut. There is a cookie. Are you kidding me? All right, enough donuts. Everyone, that is all I have for tonight. Thank you so much for coming out, and have a good night. And if there's any news tomorrow, I'll be right back here. So have a good night, and I'll talk to you next time.